Okay, let's talk about this idea of a pride round. Are you going to put in place a pride round?
Look, we'll certainly look at it, and because I believe it's more than a pride round. It's respecting each other, respecting each other's views. Just because you and I may have different views doesn't make us any less a person. Just because you have a different, or someone has a different sexual orientation, that doesn't make us a lesser person. It makes us the same. We're exactly the same. I came into the rugby league as a migrant, and rugby league accepted me, and the community accepted me because I was playing sport. And that's the beauty of sport, is it does bring us all together, and we should use it for that purpose. We should use it all our differences go out the window, that we're all one, we're all human, and we play the game accordingly.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're going to consult before deciding on a pride round. What if some players don't want to participate in it?
Well, it's their choice, and that's what I said. You know, there's two things here. One, it's about humanity, and one is about freedom of choice. If you don't wish to do something, no one's going to force you to do it. We didn't mandate vaccinations because we didn't want to force people to do it, and we had more success with our players vaccinating than if we mandated it.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to make sure that you honour people's freedoms, and we do that. But every player comes to play the game of rugby league and earns significant amounts of income, knowing where rugby league stands on exclusivity. They are well aware of what our policy and how we look at it. So, but if they want to stand down and if they, want to express their freedom, by all means. But if we have a promotion which respects everyone, and it's called a pride round, it's called whatever it's called, we expect them to play. But if they don't, they've got that choice. Okay,
if you're going to treat players like billboards in some ways, let's take this Manly game, for example, on Thursday. For the 7 players that don't want to play in the Pride jersey, why couldn't they just play in their regular jersey? Those players that wanted to wear the Pride flag on their jersey, by all means do it. Those that don't, still allowed to play, but play in their normal jersey. Can that be an option?
No, not at all. It's either all or nothing. I mean, now that it's come out, allowing those players to do that, it expresses that we're not inclusive, that we're not for everybody, and that can't happen, and that's not an option. You know, as I said, they should have collaborated with the players and engaged with the players. There's been a mistake made, but now that the mistake's been made, I don't think you can, then say, "Oh no, we'll change it and allow them to play with another jumper." I don't think that's. I think that sends the wrong signal.
How do you feel about this whole debate over the last 2 days? I feel like it's been completely counterproductive, and in many ways it might have been embarrassing to have this kind of protest for members of the community, the gay and lesbian community, that you're actually trying to support.
Look, I don't think it's counterproductive. Having open debate about things and bringing things out in the open and being transparent is not counterproductive. There's a lot of people out there that are marginalised that we should look after. And if you're gay and you're hearing this debate and people are sticking up for you, I think that's a good thing. Knowing that the game of rugby league welcomes gay people like any other person is a good thing. And I don't want kids thinking to themselves, just because I'm gay, I'm different. You're not. You're a human being. You should have strength. And so if the debate is, if it's done, the only positive I can see out of this is that they shouldn't be worried or scared to come out or do anything. You're no different to us. If you think you are, you're not. We're still 100% the same.
So, Mr. V'landys, I think we've just got to the nub of this here. You want young men and women who might be going through that teenage angst, feeling like they're not part of the mainstream. You don't want them in this debate to feel like they're any different or couldn't grow up to play rugby league or anything like that, for example. That's what I think we just got to. That's what it's about, making sure these kids feel like they're included and not on the sidelines.
Exactly. I want these kids to realise and understand that they're the same as us. They're no different. Because they've got a different sexual orientation doesn't make them any less a person or any less a human being. We still love them as much as we loved them before that. If that's your brother or your sister or your son or your mother or your father, are you going to love them any less? No. Why do we put the pressure on these people? Why? It's not right. You know, they are human beings just like you and me, and they are no different. You know, so yes, that's the message. The message is, don't be concerned, don't be worried. You're one of us. You're still the same. You know, we're all going to have differences. You know, we've all got problems in our lives. We've all got different circumstances, but you're no different.
Let me play devil's advocate for a moment. Is there a bit of hypocrisy here from some of these players? They don't want to play under the Pride banner on religious grounds. And you say, I say, that is fair enough. But they are happy to be sponsored by alcohol and gambling companies, whether it be the stadium or the clubs themselves. Do you see that hypocrisy?
No, I can't. Look, I can't speak for those players. Those players are going through anguish themselves. You know, they've got those beliefs. They've got those that culture situation. I respect that as well. You know, that's their view. That's their. It's different to mine, completely different. But I still respect it. And the argument goes both ways. We've got to respect each other's views and opinions. That's their view. Look, if they feel comfortable playing in a jersey with gambling and alcohol, so be it. That's their views. But their view on this is probably stronger. I can't speak for them. And look, I've got to say that they're probably going through some anguish, and I don't think they should go through any anguish, because that's the beauty about being in Australia. You have the freedoms. As long as they see people are all equal and all the same, and we're no different, they can have their religious beliefs. But and the beauty about this is they're not espousing them. They're not going out there with banners and etc. They're you know, which is the wrong thing to do, because that's what hurts these people. They've just expressed their right of freedom.